All right, yo! I'm not Alexei, Sayle. I'm Talal Karkouti. I co-host, produce the podcast. Does anyone here listen to the podcast? Yeah, let's hear you. Okay, as little as I thought. And so the rest of you, get ready for a mild ride. It's a very casual conversation, unscripted, improvised, and a lot of it, depending on how soon we run out of things to talk about, will involve you guys asking Alexei questions, okay? So start thinking about what you might want to ask Alexei. Sayle. We'll do a good, healthy length of Q&A, and whatever stories that comes out of that, that's all good. Are we ready to begin, do you reckon? Good. In that case, I'll introduce him. He's all the way at the back of the room, so we'll need the applause to last as long as it can take for him to get here, which I think might be a minute and a half. So please welcome to the stage, Alexei Sayle! Oh, the music! Here he comes! Okay, about another minute, I reckon. Here he is. Alexei Sayle! Come on!
Hello, Wellingborough. It's good to be back in Northamptonshire. When I had a house for a long time in a village called Morton Pinckney, which is between Banbury and Northampton near Daventry. And we moved in on the week when I'd been on Top of the Pops, and a kid came up to me and said, I was watching Top of the Pops with my granny, and I said, oh, there's somebody on Top of the Pops who's moving into the village. And she said, as long as it's not that fat bastard in the tight suit. Okay, anyway, so...
what town was that?
It was a village called Morton Pinckney. It was not a centre of radicalism, say the least. I remember the pub it was called England's Rose. It closed down, thank fuck. But it's that impulse, to buy a place in have a place in the country. We had a lot of friends in Banbury and around Northampton, and so Tracy Thorne from Everything But the Girl's got a story about where she buys a house in the country, goes there, pulls up all the flowers, and then never goes back. So it was a bit. We did more than that, but no, we were there for years.
Any Morton Pinckneyites in the
building?
That's
a bit too far north of here, I think.
How long did that last, or have you got any other stories from that area?
Oh, many many stories about Banbury, Northampton. No, not really. That's about it, really. Come to think of it.
Well,
I was very different then, because I had this kind of I was this kind of punky comedian, and I didn't know how, partly because I had this, this image, but I didn't know how to talk to people. And I remember once going for a walk in the lane, and there was a bloke with a goat. And I just kind of panicked. And in the end, I said, "Nice goat," and then sort of ran.
Well, you haven't got much better at talking to people, I don't think.
No, I was always very bad at
I'm sorry, I said
small
that.
talk. Yeah.
Well, we're very grateful to the Wellingborough Mayday and Diggers Festival for having us. It seems like a really fucking the Diggers. I was up late last night watching online lectures about the Diggers and stuff, trying to brush up on my digger knowledge. How are you? What's your relationship to the Diggers?
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, encyclopedic. Well, no, I mean, I haven't. I mean, it's. I've got that comedian's ability where if I looked at something, I could convince you that I'd got a PhD in it. But no, I mean, I think that my understanding is that. I mean, the Diggers, the level. I mean, it's that. I mean, the English Civil War was the sense of the first Civil War, that the first where you saw that change from feudalism to what eventually became monopoly capitalism, but capitalism and the merchant class taking over from the landed aristocracy, and of course that happened in Britain first. And so you also saw its first example, as far as I know, of all those other things that accompanied revolutionary movements, which is that you have that everybody starts out together, and then you have these radical wings like the Diggers and the Levellers and so on that then become a problem. I mean, Cromwell. I mean, the mainstream government becomes corrupted by power and clamps down on the radical element, and we see that process endlessly repeated. But I think it's important to maintain it, and also that that spirit of England, of Britain really, but of England, that spirit of radicalism which is suppressed, which is our history of those movements of the British people's, the fact that the Diggers, were interested in the commons, and that's communism. That's what they were interested in, and different ideas of property, and our relationship to the planet as well. Our relationship that that the absurdity of Marx said, owning a piece of land is absurd as owning a person. But that history is really a vibrant, essential part of our history, really. And events like this keep it going, but that is also it is suppressed. It's never referred to in the conventional narrative, so that's why things like this are very important, I think. And,
you see it now with the Palestine supporters, those dastardly villains. That the atrocities in Gaza over the last couple of years have shone a light on Palestine, and more people have started educating themselves on Palestine. And oh my God, more people know about Palestine, and suddenly they think Palestinians deserve rights and deserve to have their own land. And I think the Diggers also show that danger of what happens when the people are educated. Because as far as I understand is that there were less parishes at the time. Parish numbers were dwindling, and so people started reading the Bible themselves, learning how to read, and then reading it, and then going, hold on, this world belongs to all of us? What the fuck? And so, and you're seeing that now with people learning about Palestine going, wait a second, this has been going on the whole time?
Yeah, well, it's also that radical, it's that radical history of Protestantism, isn't it? Where people, got, rather than having the whole sacred text interpreted by a theocracy, that they instead got to read the sacred text themselves. Of course, the first people who translated the Bible into English were executed, were burnt alive. There's a particularly rough comprehensive school in Tufnell Park named after the guy. I keep forgetting his name, William. I can't remember. But he didn't.
Well, over the years, you've done lots of events like these, haven't you? One of the nice members of the team here reminded you of a Ealing, what was it, Communist?
Ealing Communist Party
event.
Brecht, yeah. Yeah. I thought I was going to get more laughs than this, really, but instead I'm just being a bore.
Yeah, it's a bit
do this at home, really. Linda, the thing about Protestantism is that they interpret the sacred texts. Shut the fuck up!
Not much of a digger or gardener yourself, are you?
Are
you? I didn't mean to say not.
That's fucking desperate.
Are you much good in the garden? Have you ever sown a seed and eaten the fruits of that seed?
Yeah.
You have?
A little bit, yeah. I've got a patio that Yeah, I'm quite proud of my patio.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I grew a chili once and ate it. It's such an unheard, it's so rare. Now, obviously, you guys, we're from
It
London.
gave you a tremendous
We're from
sense
London.
of connection with the soil and the air.
This pot that was on my mantelpiece,
Yeah.
spat out a tiny chili, and I put it in an omelette and went, oh, that was worth the 2 months it took. It's a nice fantasy though. One day I want to fucking have a bit of land and grow my own food, but it seems like a lot of effort, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm remembering a lot.
This is what people pay the big bucks for, isn't it? Yeah.
This event and the Diggers.
He used to be really good in the 80s. I remember he was great, but something's happened to him. I don't know what it is. He seems to be kind of cognitive decline there. Yeah.
Who here ever was a member of the Woodcraft folk? One person.
Oh, he's called the Woodcraft folk, the paramilitary wing of the co-op. That's
I was just reminded a lot about them today with the learning about the Diggers. They started their commune down the road and growing their own fruit, no, probably not fruit, roots, vegetables, mangoes. But that's how the Woodcraft folk started. In World War I, they were pacifists. They didn't want to join the army.
Yeah.
So they fled into the woods and started a commune. And that's why it's like the hippie version of the Scouts now. And I grew up in the Woodcraft, and you've always given me nothing but scorn for it.
I was, because both my parents were in the Communist Party, so I was actually in the Young Pioneers in a town called Trutnov in southern Czechoslovakia. It took me a long time to get to meetings every week, but I was a young pioneer.
So Russell Brand's a maniac, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. He is. He's shit, isn't he, Russell Brand? At least you got to say, I mean, for all my cognitive decline, I haven't turned into Russell Brand. I mean, I've kept going, haven't I, with this shit? I mean, I'm still kind of identical to, the way I was.
Yeah.
I haven't mutated. I haven't taken on, I mean, how many different fucking religions has he been now? He's been a Buddhist.
Yeah,
he's been a sort of radical. Now he's a Christian.
And when this podcast first started, we were really keen to get him on as a guest, weren't we? I think we dodged a bullet.
Yeah. He did, fuck.
But yeah, similar to the Diggers, he uses the Bible to justify his fucking sorry.
Yeah, but he's. He is. I mean, it's that. I mean, again, it's that messianic thing, isn't it? The comedians get really. I've been adored, and it's kind of people have been too nice to him, really, too long, really. I don't know where that was going.
What helps?
I didn't.
I guess he was single for most of the time at the peak of his fame.
Yeah.
Not to justify anything he's done, but you were pretty tied down with
the
whole time.
Yeah.
That got you out of a lot of trouble, I imagine.
Yes.
Not that you would have been a...
I remember talking to a journalist on the Mail in the 80s, and he told me that I had a file and it said, "Not worth following." Said happily married, not worth following. It said. It made me really angry. It made me want to kind of fuck a rent boy or something.
All right, let's shake things up. I wrote you a song.
I could be that desperate.
I might regret doing this.
Yeah, go on.
I rewrote the words to She's Electric by Oasis.
Why?
He's Alexei. Your favourite Marxist, he's sexy. If he were a glass, he'd be plexi. And his podcast is fine. He's Alexei. He'd rather a bike than a jet ski. He boycotts McDonald's and Pepsi. but he reads the Times. There's one more.
Yeah, go on. No, it's going down well. Sorry.
He's Alexei. He played Jerzy Belowski, a famous lefty like Bobby Gillespie, except he's not a twat. Thank you. I was quite drunk yesterday. I went to a different Mayday festival yesterday in Deptford. Mayday and Beltane celebration. It was a parade. Well, it was a pub crawl disguised as a parade.
Well, again, I mean, that tradition. I mean, it's like that whole tradition of, again, English, that connection with the land, the Green Man and Beltane and all that it again is something that is kept hidden from us, really. And,
well, I was drunkenly ranting at like the fourth pub that I was like, why aren't reform here? This is England. This is English tradition. If reform are so precious about preserving English tradition, they should be fucking here ruining it for us as well. You know, they're so proud of English culture, and I've never seen any of them mention Beltane or the Green Man or do a Morris dance.
Yeah.
You know, or follow the Jack through Deptford and get horrendously drunk and rip leaves off of it and throw it into the crowd. You know, that's English culture. That's the English tradition I know.
Yeah.
Not fucking being topless and sunburned and starting fights with brown people, you know. So fuck reform,
You're right
obviously.
there. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
You're right there.
Thank you, yes. But I kept shouting, why aren't reform here in the pub? And people were fucking starting to look at me funny. Until my girlfriend shut me up, yeah. Beltane, your connection with any...
Nothing. Nothing druidical, really.
Never done
nothing to see. No, nothing.
Morris dance or anything. Did you do one in stuff? You never did a Morris dance sketch?
No, got no funny stories about that. No. I saw Mark Rylance and Jake Butterworth's Jerusalem. I didn't like it much, really. That's about that. That's about all that. Yeah.
Well, bet you're glad Mark Thomas isn't here this year again.
He's really good, Mark Thomas.
All right, should we talk about Golders Green then? Shall we take a question?
Well, we could start. I mean, it's. Those of us who are involved in the Jeremy Corbyn, the Labour years. I mean, they've been predicting that playbook, the false allegations of anti-Semitism, will be wheeled out against the Greens.
Yeah.
And we're seeing that playing out at the moment. I think it's clear that it's exactly the same thing. And the media, you just treat it as if it's like the first time they've ever heard this bullshit. It's like, and they have all these fucking monsters, campaign against anti-Semitism, or John Mann, the fucking government, whatever he is, terrorism, fucking pig-faced twat that he is, being wheeled out to make the same allegations that they've been making for 10, 15 years now. And it's exactly the same when we did, we've always predicted that this would happen. I hope that this is in the broader context, I hope that the Greens, have learned the lessons of the Corbyn years, really, and don't give in, It's important these people, all these groups of Community Security Trust, the fucking Board of Deputies, the Campaign Against Anti-Semitism, Jewish Labour Movement, all those groups are their primary function is as lobby groups for Israel. That's all they care about. And so they are lobby groups for a country that is committing a genocide of... mean, of immense proportions, but also a country that is so depraved. And I mean, the depravity of that country, the cruelty and the cynicism and of what goes on in Israel, and the brutality in which they treat the Palestinians is just, I mean, staggering. It's a genocide. It's a Holocaust. And these fucking people are being treated like a fucking chief rabbi, are being treated as if they're good faith actors, and they're not. They're extremely bad faith actors because they are people who are defending a genocide. They're defending an ethnic cleansing, apartheid, settler colonial state, and you know, I mean, it's you know, I mean, I'd say. I myself have suffered their attentions in 2021. When I did Desert Island Discs, they tried to get that withdrawn before it was broadcast. And I stand with Alexei, trended at #1 on Twitter, what was called Twitter then. And so don't you know? I've suffered myself. I nearly
suffering.
That it is. It's. I mean, it's. I mean, the hypocrisy of. I mean, the Labour Party of Starmer. I mean, Starmer lies all the time. I mean, he lies. He lied about when he got elected to the leadership of the Labour Party, what he was going to be continuity Corbyn. He then immediately ditched that. He didn't say who was backing him in his leadership campaign, which was betting industry and then pro-Israel lunatics. He has accepted more freebies than all other prime ministers combined. He's taken more free fucking shit than every other prime minister combined, including Tony fucking Blair. And you still hear people saying, you know, Labour Party people are saying he's an honest man, and he's not. He's a profoundly dishonest man. And the one thing he seems to care about is Israel. Really, he's the Jewish community. I mean, that seems the only thing that he really cares about, and it's so sickening. You know, I mean, the last 3 years have been. I mean, my parents were communists, and there was a lot wrong with what they believed in. You know, as my mother used to say, you can't make an omelette without murdering 40 million people. What they did teach me was to identify with the oppressed, you know, and you can't get any more multiply oppressed than the Palestinian people. That they're oppressed by their own stinking, quisling leadership in the West Bank. They're oppressed by Israel. They're oppressed by the rest of the Western nations, with a few honourable exceptions.
They're oppressed by the Arab neighbours too.
They're oppressed by all those foul Arab autocracies. And I mean, the levels. I mean, the depths and the complexity of their oppression is staggering, really. And if you know, there is, you know, this, you know, people talking about globalised intifada, or, you know, chance. I mean, the people who are being demonised in this discourse the last couple of days are the people who, you know, who are protesting against the genocide and protesting against this despotic country which has sunk into extraordinary levels of cruelty and depravity. They're the fucking heroes in this fucking narrative, not, you know, they're the people who should be celebrated. And it's I mean, this obviously the last few years have been have been difficult for all of us, really, since October the 7th and even before then. And I've got a book coming out in September, which is all about that. And I hope that you'll buy it. But it's partly about, it's called How I've Tried to Change the World by Walking Down the Middle of the Street Shouting. And it's about, it's inspired partly by, you know, by going on those demonstrations. You feel, I mean, the experience of those demonstrations, I'm sure a lot of you have been on them. It's both thrilling in a way that I'm often reduced to tears by the solidarity and the beauty of the people who are on those demonstrations, and not the shitbag like the fucking chief rabbi, fucking gobshite, but and his son who's in the IDF, but the nobility of the people on those demonstrations is staggering, really, and it's about that. But it's also that you feel a sense of powerlessness as well. That you
how have we come
walk
to this?
up and down, and and then you're even going to stop that. They even want to stop that simple expression of anger and revulsion. Even that is forbidden, really. And
we talk about they lie to us over and over again, tell us that they hate marches, and tell us that they encourage violence against Jews, and you sit there and it's like, wait, no, I was there. It's not. No. Why are you lying? Why are you gaslighting me? You're making me go crazy because every piece of media is telling me that I'm a member of a hate club, a racist, violent mob, and it's so clearly not. It drives you fucking mad.
Yeah.
He's just on. It's fucking true. And you get a similar feeling being in rooms like this as well, of course. And, it's much better than the Museum of Comedy, But I'm like...
But it is the world, it is the world turned upside down. So I prefer... The true nobility is being displayed. The true care for humanity is being displayed by
every piece
people
of media,
on those marches, and not there.
Absolutely.
Not there.
And someone going on a stabbing spree or burning an ambulance, they don't represent the majority of us.
Connection.
They don't represent us at all. People who are advocating for peace and non-violence.
Well, the guy, he stabbed a Muslim guy before he stabbed
on the same day,
No
one's mentioned that.
A Muslim's going to get a share of that £25.5 million?
Mate, 2-3 weeks ago, a Muslim woman was hit by a car outside of her home. She was visibly Muslim, and someone drove over her in London, I think, or maybe it was somewhere in the country. Someone drove over this woman and drove away, and there's footage of it and everything. No fucking mention of it. There's been countless attacks on Muslim people. Maybe not countless, I don't want to hyperbolate, but it's happening so much, and it doesn't get the headlines. We don't get words that they're threatening to ban because of it.
No.
We don't get Reform getting told, hey, you better watch how you demonize people on our streets. The fucking attacks on refugees, on houses full of migrants that are just getting mobbed by these fucking Tommy Robinson cucks, ripping the windows open and throwing...
I know Tommy Robinson, it's really disappointing because in the 80s he was singing about how he was glad to be gay. And that's a real turnaround on his... That's disappointed me there, I think.
And I do worry about the Green Party, whether they're going to deal with it well.
Yeah.
Like with the hypno boobs scandal, Zach Polanski said years ago he could make boobs bigger by hypnosis, and which, like, so what? Good. But like,
I don't think that's the party line.
But I don't know. He apologized and said I was tricked. I was scammed into it. But if I was the Green Party, you have to double down on those things. They should sell merch that says, I got these double Ds and a free Palestine thanks to the Green Party.
I think it's good that you're not advising them then. But I wouldn't go that far. But they certainly need to be on the front foot. There are some worrying suspensions. There's a guy called Tony Greenstein who is a difficult, disputatious character. But he's been suspended really, and he shouldn't be, I think.
Well, good luck to them, and I hope...
I think hopefully they will. I'm very excited about the local elections next week.
Yeah,
it's going to be...
Same.
I hope the Labour Party is fucking wiped out.
What do you think of this? So I had the Labour Party councillors or councillor... they want to be councillor, and they knocked on my door, and So I was like, I can't ever vote Labour again after your complicity in the genocide, and you betrayed us, and I used to be a member, and I can never join again nor give you a vote until this is completely changed. And she said, we're councillors, and just so you know, I am a member of the PSC, and I go on all the marches, and we're trying to change it from the inside. And I did kind of feel bad for her. And, you know, I could tell she's not a terrible, bad person, obviously. But I still went, but how can you still be in Labour? How can you still stand there for them? Yeah, try and change it from these, but this is too far gone. I said, since 2019, I cannot have anything to do with them again.
Yeah, Lenny Henry, a friend of mine, was tormented with guilt by the fact that when he was 15, 16, he'd been in the black and white minstrel show, which I don't know if you remember was an extraordinary minstrel show, which was on BBC One until 1979. And I told him to tell people that he was reforming them from the inside. By the time he left, they were the Black and White Panthers. Zing, 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 went the trolley. Clang, 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 went the bell. Massacre the white overlords. They're reforming them from the inside. Bullshit. You can't. They're irreformable.
Let's take a question.
Yeah, let's finally.
What do you think? Finally.
Yeah, let's take some questions. Yeah.
Would anyone like to ask Alexei a question? Let's see some hands if you do. Anywhere in the room. We've got someone right at the back. If you find anyone along the way, we'll get around to everyone, I think. Whoa, what's all that? Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Here we go. We got a question. Whoa! My goodness, my Guinness.
Hello.
Can everyone be careful with the microphone? Fuck's sake, that cost a lot of money. Is it working? Oh my God.
I'll just shout.
Okay. Hello?
Hello.
Hey. Right, Alexei,
Hello.
what I want to know is, what do you think the original diggers of 1649 would make of Wellingborough today? The politics, the people, the cost of living. What do you think they would think of us?
What would the diggers of...
Turn the mic down.
They'd be disappointed. They'd be disappointed in your PA systems. I profoundly am disappointed reading that because all the F's are. I'm really disappointed in Wellingborough, and it found fiefdoms. Have you got an oldie? Yeah, they'd be impressed with the patisserie in the oldie, wouldn't they? They go, ye godf. I always get it mixed up. It's either Aldi or Lidl that's got the really good patisserie. It's Lidl that's got the good patisserie. I'm sorry.
Aldi has a good fruit and veg.
All right. Well, they'd be impressed with Lidl then, and genuinely, I think that. I mean, the capitalism has hung on. I think they'd be shocked that capitalism has hung on this long and is still with us. I think we're reaching the end times now. That obviously the US empire is disintegrating, hopefully. And
well, Paul, one of the founding members of this festival, was telling us of the irony of where the Diggers memorial, the Diggers monument is. It's in where is it? It's in the middle of an industrial estate. Yeah. So obviously, I think he would struggle to plant potatoes in the pavement and the tarmac.
They'd be surprised at the price of butter as well, really. They'd be, and they said Michael McIntyre's still fucking going.
Anyone else got a question? I might come. I might roam. How are we confident with that mic now? I was ready to pounce. Okay.
Is there anything to be hopeful about?
Is there anything to be hopeful about?
We've already mentioned Lidl.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to roam. I'm going to take the next question with this mic. All right, don't worry.
I think that I genuinely think that there is. That obviously the terrible, the terrible things that have happened in the last couple of years are the suffering has been immeasurable and unbearable in a way. But I mean, I think it has revealed, the Western monopoly capitalism in its full evil to those that have the ability to see it. And I think that you do see, with the interest in left ideas, that there is a definite revival because people want an alternative. They can see that this system is not working, and they want an alternative. And there's some interesting things happening as well. That there were a lot of, when your party first started, there were a lot of people set up like proto branches. I think on the basis that, like they did in Camden and in Islington and stuff, on the basis that they would become the Your Party branches, and they've now, because Your Party has been a bit of a kind of clusterfuck, that they no longer want to be that, but they've got really interesting ideas about building democracy up from the bottom. Camden People's Alliance, which is who I'm familiar with, that they're running clinics and advice workshops and housing campaigns alongside running for council seats. And it's the same idea in a sense as the Diggers. It's that endless idea, endlessly replicated. The power comes from the bottom, that the power, that the only way that humanity can advance the only way that we can be what we should be is by everybody controlling their own environment, and by men not asserting dominion over women, and by humanity not asserting dominion over nature, and by living in a kind of harmonious relationship with the planet is the only possibility of avoiding environmental catastrophe, I think. And so there is hope in that people see these ideas. They are, they suffer, there's tremendous setbacks, but it's also that, I do think there is a kind of grounds for hope in a way, but it's not easy. It's very difficult. And the opposition, being rich, being a capitalist, being a billionaire is a kind of, it's an illness, isn't it? It's an addiction. It's about why do you want all this power, all this money that you're never going to spend. And the addiction of the billionaire class is what is literally destroying the planet, really. And so we have to find our only superpower is that we're everybody, really. We're every fucking person, apart from Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, and we are everybody else. And that's, if we can only harness that, we can only harness that. That we are everybody and harness the power of everybody, then mankind, humanity can progress and climate disaster can be averted otherwise.
But how, Alexei?
I just told you, you're not listening.
How do we harness that? How do we get everyone to...
Camden People's Alliance.
I think there was someone back here. Oh, the Camden People's Alliance, yes. I'm roaming now. I'll come back to you. Had a question back here? Yes. Please.
A few miles away from here is the factory for Dr. Martens boots. Do you have a song about that?
I think they did. I don't know. I think they did. You got them there. They did offer me, I think, in the early days, some if I wanted to promote them, but I never did. There's a village called Woodford Halse, which is near where we live in Morton Pinckney, and there was a big discount shoe warehouse there. And I mean, it was. I actually had these. I mean, if you see, I wore these Dr. Martens boots. They were for paratroopers, and they were called Paradox, which was in itself a philosophical. It was a paradox. Even my shoes were a philosophic conundrum. I mean, yeah. I mean, I sort of. I never really. It was. I mean, what was it? I mean, I think, what comedians do is that what good comedians do is you get to a thing before people realise that. And then that's what I did with Dr. Martens, really. The people, that I could see the people were wearing them, and, they weren't, working on construction sites. They were lecturers in media studies I just kind of highlighted that thing. And I've always also been interested in that idea, kind of idiotic songs about, how if we all just, held hands, we could save the world, solve the world's problems. And so, I mean, that song, Dr. Martens Boots, was also a parody of that. But yeah, I was happy really to just to really do that. But I never wanted to take money from them or really get involved in their shenanigans.
But like a minute ago, you were literally just saying how we should all hold hands and we could make the world better.
Yeah, but we should hold hands and then indulge in revolutionary Marxism, a violent revolution led.
Feels weird being down here.
Yeah, I feel vaguely abandoned by him. I don't like him much, really. I'm glad he's gone. No, I don't.
Another question for you. You had your hand up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Alexei.
Hello.
Of all biscuits named after revolutionaries, which is your favourite?
Age-old question, Jersey.
Yeah, I made that up, that scene in that episode, Bambi, that scene of the young ones, I actually did. I think they'd said I was going to play the train driver, but I didn't know what I was going to say, and so I think I made that Revolutionary Biscuits of Italy. That I actually, I made that up actually on the spot. I think while we were filming it.
No,
I mean, they used to leave us. I mean, there used to be a hole in the script and just say Alexei comes on and does something here. And I think that was the case with that, really. So,
not answering the question. Which is your favourite? Was it Garibaldi?
Pete Freen, Jeremy Corbyn assortments, Zach Polanski digestive, Murray Bookchin anarchist. I don't know, really.
And there's Zara Sultana hobnob.
Yeah. Good point. Very good.
Thank you.
Yeah, but I don't know. The classics. Garibaldi.
He likes Garibaldi. Are you comfortable just shouting your question out, and I'll repeat it on the mic? Is that okay?
I just wanted to ask, what do you think about Tommy Robinson calling a protest in central London on National Day on the 16th of May? Do you think that's quite provocational?
He has done that, and he wants that to happen.
No, I mean, but the government has banned the Nakba Day.
Let me repeat it for the recording, please, Alexei. What do you think of Tommy Robinson calling a protest on Nakba Day, 16th of May in central London? I didn't know that he was doing that.
But not only that, but the government has actually banned the Nakba Day demonstration and let Tommy Robinson go ahead. I mean, it is. I mean, one of the weird kind of aspects of going on all those demos in central London is that at some point you pass the counter demonstration, which is usually, I think there's less and less of them, but they always have a much better sound system than we do. As proved, the left is deficient in sound systems. Sorry, as the roving mic has proved. But they always have a fantastic sound system.
They did a live link with Elon Musk, didn't they?
They pump out this kind of Israeli pop, and there's these North London housewives kind of dancing and snaking their hips as if they're in a kind of pro-genocide Zumba class. And there's not, but there's a weird kind of mixture. They have Israeli flags, Union Jacks, and the flags, of course, of Iranian.
The Shah.
The Shah of Iran, yeah. And they're a weird kind of mixture of again, just the most. I mean, again, there's a phrase in Alcoholics Anonymous, 1 finger pointing forward, 3 pointing back, that when they accuse us, these demonstrations, these static demonstrations, which are tiny, there's 500,000 on our demos, and there's like 100 of them, but, and I don't know whether, do any of them ever think, why, why is there so few of it? Anyway, why are these people, why have these people been marching for 3 years? But every accusation, they call their static demonstrations "Stop the Hate," and what they are is they're the exact opposite of that. They are "Start the Hate," and it's a weird kind of alliance now. I mean, I don't know if Tommy Robinson and Zionism, because the Zionists are doing what they've always wanted to do, which is kill brown people. And so there's this weird kind of alliance now of fascists and Zionists. And it's depressing, I think. I mean, I remember there was one demonstration where there was a kind of Tommy Robinson style counter demonstration. I remember everybody, which I think was a really good tactic, that were these people just sort of wandering amongst our demonstration with Union Jacks, and everybody was really nice to them, and it freaked them out really because they were expecting kind of to meet opposition. Everybody's just like, yeah. And I remember they were all in the pub and everybody's waving at them and stuff like that. And, again, it's, their demonstrations are "Start the Hate." And Tommy, I don't know. It's an extraordinary example of the hypocrisy and wickedness of the Labour Party and of Shaman and Mahmood and all those people, that they banned Nakba Day demonstration and allowed Tommy Robinson to go ahead. But it's dispiriting, really.
Fuck him.
Yeah, be nice to him, kiss him.
Yeah,
kiss Tommy Robinson. I don't know. I was just there.
Tommy Robinson.
Give him a hug. He's lonely and sad, and he's little. He's a tiny little man, and
he's
just
quite
give
little.
him put your arms around him and give him a hug.
Scruff his hair a little.
Yeah, he might go, "Oh God, I was wrong about everything." Yeah. They've tried to ban the Nakba Day demo. Right, the Nakba Day demonstration.
Right, it's not yet banned.
Right. Okay.
All right, everyone calm down. This hasn't become a free-for-all. There's still a show happening. There's a gentleman with his hand up there, very politely. Yes, please.
Comrade.
Two questions. First question, do you think politicians will ever, thank you very much, sir, do you think politicians will ever gain a sense of humour? Second question, if Zach Polanski ever asked you to be his comic consultant, whatever you construe that to be, would you accept the mission, Alexei?
There's not many of them have got a sense of humour, really. I mean, you do see that, that kind of what passes for humour in Parliament, that kind of extraordinary badinage. And as Hannah Spencer pointed out the other day, they're all shit-faced. So I don't know whether that helps or not. I don't know about. I've always said about that I've avoided getting involved in a political party. That it's important that I think the comics somehow that we stay above the fray. Yeah. That we don't align ourselves with with any one party really, and I would probably stick to that. But I do. I mean, I think that the Green Surge is very exciting. I think that Polanski, by and large, has been fantastic in his way that he's dealt with the media so far, and I hope that continues. You know,
They've done well casting him in that role. You could tell a politician's sense of humor by their attempt at viral TikTok trends and stuff like that, because some of them get it and do it, and most of them just try to do it without clearly not understanding what it is they're doing. Some advisor has just told them, do this with your hips and your hands and point at the camera and I'll do the rest. Whereas people like Hannah Spencer and Zach Polanski seem to... And, it's cheesy as fuck, and I'm not a TikTok fan, but they're the ones who are connecting with the youth and getting the youth on their side and getting those young votes, which politicians have always struggled to do. The sense of humor is a big part of that, I think.
I mean, most of them are arseholes anyway. So, this has just occurred to me. It's got nothing to do with anything. I once interviewed Michael Heseltine, if you remember him, it's actually for an arts documentary, and he had the most amazing wheelie suitcase I've ever seen. It did. It was like a kind of like a Hermes trunk. Okay. Like it was leather with like straps and like a little. But a wheelie case. Okay. But he wasn't... Michael has time.
So if you're not going to be funny, at least have impressive luggage.
He had the most amazing... Yeah, he had them.
We had that.
I used to bump into Boris Johnson because his office was in my street, and I used to stop and talk to him, And I talked about this before, but I used to develop... I found Boris Johnson's charm at that point kind of really seductive, and I found myself kind of going all kind of proletarian in his presence and going, "Oh, Mr. Johnson, oh God, insult me in Latin, Mr. Johnson. Oh, can I braid your golden hair, Mr. Johnson?" And then I developed this fantasy that me and Boris were soldiers in the First World War. And he was an officer, and he'd be good to the men, make sure that all the poets had pencils, and I'd be I was private, but a nice body, muscular, I think, and sexual, in a kind of polyamorous kind of way, and anyway, and
was your army fatigues tight? Under 2 sizes too small.
Very, very chiseled looks. Yeah. And I just developed this fantasy that me and Boris...
You're developing a few fantasies.
We were waiting for the kind of the whistle to go. It's like 1917. And it was the big push, and we were waiting before dawn, and the whistle would go, and Boris would lead us over the top, and the machine guns would be cutting off comrades to bits, with Boris would be leading and I'd be following, and then the artillery would start coming down and men were being blown to bits, with Boris would be leading and I'll be following, and then the whiz bangs started exploding in the air, and again men were shredded, but Boris was leading and I was following, and then at the first opportunity I'd shoot him in the back. And I try and defect to the Soviet Union.
Kink unlocked.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Folks, if you haven't listened to the show before, we do this every week pretty much. It's the Alexei Saylepodcast, all right? Find it on all your podcast apps and on YouTube and whatnot. You can also support the show with a few quid a month at patreon.com/Alexei Saylepodcast. And we did an episode, we do a show on there called Alexei Reacts, where we watch old shit that he's done and Alexei reacts live to it. And we did the Dr. Martin's Boots episode recently. Yeah. We've done sketches from Stuff and your appearances in movies. And it's a really good time over there. There's chat rooms and stuff. So come find us over there. If there's one more question, we'll take one more question. Otherwise, right back there, waving frantically. Yes, please, go on.
Stop paying our BBC
Whoa. You're asking the wrong man that, man. He's really going for a season 5 of Alexei Sayle Sandwich Bar.
I have season 6. I have mixed feelings about that. The BBC is not what it was. I mean, it used to be thrilling to work for the BBC. When we did stuff, I wrote a sketch, I think, called Snow White and the Seven Samurai. And it ended with cutting Snow White's head off. And the Disney organisation issued a writ against us. So me and the other writers and the producer, we went to see the BBC barrister. And I expected her to be all kind of, legalese, ipso factum, ipso, gobbledygook, sic adua per astra. And quid hoc ergo propter hoc. And she, Moa Marsa Matt, and Renault Citroen Fiat, and Daewoo Kia. And she said, fuck Disney, we're the BBC. And I think that spirit has been more or less completely lost. It's still, for all its long years, it's still, that spirit still exists to a degree in Radio 4. They keep commissioning Sandwich Bar. Linda thinks they do it just so they can, point and say, well, we can't be reactionary, we've got him. But, they keep, I understand people's disappointment with the BBC. They still do occasionally produce great work. I think like Mackenzie Crook's recent Small Profits.
Well, there is obviously more to the BBC than the news. Oh, we're big fans. More profits.
No. I actually I did a thing I worked with Piers Quigley years ago. And it was a competition. Some bank clerk had run a competition in Granada to write a sitcom, and I was in it. And there was a young performer there, and he said, "I'm a comedian." He said, and I said, "Oh, son, knock it on the head. You're never gonna get." And it was Peter Kay.
Wow.
I said, son, which I think I'm right, really. Son, you shit. But, what? No, he's still not. He's still that nostalgia bollocks, isn't it? I know because I issued that bomb threat at the gig he had last night, and so I'm still angry about him, But, they occasionally do so. But, the news and current affairs are a fucking disgrace. Laura Koonsberg and all those people are terrible. They're state broadcasters. So they are, they just pump out state propaganda. They are a disgrace. So, don't pay. Just give the money direct to me, really, and me and Mackenzie Crook, and that'd probably do it, really. He's got enough money from Pirates of the Caribbean, so just give it to me, really. So, really, I'll do.
Well, yeah, I agree. Here. Who agrees? Give him money. No, it'd be great to see that change. They should be able to say, fuck Israel, we're the BBC, or fuck campaign against anti-Semitism, we're the BBC.
Yeah, and they are just...
They are state broadcasts, but there is more to the beep than the news. But yeah, it feels like a betrayal when your state broadcaster is following these narratives that you just know are bullshit.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much. It's a fly-by-wire, fly-by the seat of your pants endeavour, this thing. Have
you enjoyed yourselves?
Thank you.
Many, many thanks to Claire, Paul, Russ, and everyone here at the Mayday and Diggers Wellingborough Mayday and Diggers Festival. Really appreciate it. Please give it up once again, Alexei Sayle, and this has been the Alexei Sayle Podcast!
You've been listening to the Alexei Sayle Podcast. This show is produced and edited by Talal Karkouti. Music by Tarbush Records. Thanks to Audio Boom for hosting us. Please keep your emails coming in at alexeisaylepodcast@gmail.com. Goodbye.